Good morning and welcome to another Talk conversation. I was in prayer the other night and I was having this conversation with the Lord. And in this conversation, my conscience just wouldn't leave me alone as far as this. There was a statement being made. There was like this branding that was being impressed upon me. And the statement was very simple, but the Holy Spirit was on point. It said, just say no. It was telling me, just say no. Donnie, you say yes too much. I mean, you're saying yes when you really mean no. You give a soft no, but you give a hard yes. I don't know how many of you are like me, but it's hard for me to say no to a lot of people. I mean, I'm always trying to find a way to say yes, or I'm trying to find a way to work. I work through the maze of your mind to where you get it by me talking to you. You get it. It's a soft no. It's a soft landing. But the Holy Spirit was sharing with me that there are certain areas in my life that I need to say no to, certain things I need to say no to. There are certain people I need to say no to. There are certain people I shouldn't be around, that you shouldn't be around. For every yes you give, it balances off for every no you have to give. I'm looking at strolling through social media, and when you go to a page and it's something you didn't expect, but you click on it and go just a little bit deeper. You should just really swipe left or swipe right, or you should just really log off altogether. But we don't. We keep digging a little deeper because we think, oh, I can handle this. You don't know what you can handle. You don't know what that's pushing inside of you. I mean, if you say no right up front, you don't have to deal with that. But so many of us, we think we got this whole thing figured out as we find ourselves just looking at a whole lot of stuff. And by the time you finish, I mean, you're just mind, if you will, brain fog because you've got so much that you just pushed inside of you. And all you had to do was say no. You see the trouble we get in because we think we can handle everything and anything. But let me tell you something. You're being measured by your actions. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Satan is looking at you, he's observing you, and he's measuring you. He's trying to size you up for what he can bring towards you, what he can do to you, because you're giving him so much information. Some people say, don't put all your stuff on social media. Well, let me tell you something. By you looking at social media, you're giving the devil some insight to what you like. And no one should know everything that you like, but we're showing him everything that we like. And so he's measuring us. Yeah, oh yeah. He's measuring you for your fall. That's what he's doing. He's trying to see what type of roadblocks, yeah, what type of pitfalls or potholes he can put in your path. It's like being flirted with. And don't get me wrong, we all like attention. We like somebody telling us, oh, you look good, you smell good. I mean, we all like that. Don't get me wrong. We do. We're just human. This flesh, this just loves this stuff, craves it in some sense. We all like compliments. I don't think anything's wrong with it. But every once in a while, when it's not just a compliment, when it's more of someone looking for an opportunity and you let them keep on flirting versus saying no. See, no, it's not that you have to say it. You just have to walk away. You just have to walk away. You just have to turn and keep on moving. But then we get into deceiving ourselves. Oh, I can handle this. Oh, he's just being nice. No, 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 no. He wants to be more than nice. No, no. She wants something more than just being nice. You're being too nice. You're deceiving yourself because you won't say no and just walk away because we like it. Yeah, we've done so much to ourselves and we've allowed so many things to happen to us that we become experts in compromising our morals. I mean, that's who we are because we think we can handle it. Every bad thing happens to you for a reason, if you ask me. Now, do you learn from it or do you lust in it? There are some things in your life that you realize that if you just simply would have walked away, you'd have been better off. But since you know how to compromise, and you like compromising because you think you're good at it, you think you're so clever. That's what it is. You think you become so clever that you can deal with any stuff that the devil's throwing at you. I'll deal with the fallout later, but I want to see where this goes, where it takes me. Well, no, some things will take you way off course. Some things you can't get back from. Well, Donnie, I mean, you're just being too serious. This is just a one-time thing. I'm not hurting anybody but myself. Well, hold up. Whenever you hurt yourself, watch this, watch this. Whatever affects you infects others. Let me say it again. Whatever affects you, it infects others around you. Well, this is just a it's just a one time. It's just a one off. It's a one nighter. I mean, everyone is doing it. I mean, come on, you're being too serious. No, I'm not. I'm not being serious enough because that's how the devil gets in. That's how he gets into the details of your life. When you tell God yes, you're telling the devil no. Let me say it again. When you tell God yes, you're telling the devil and all of his deception, you're telling him no. The question is, how often do you tell God no, though? Let me say it again. How often do you tell God no? I mean, I know you tell your parents no. Now, you don't say it in front of them because you don't want to get punched in the mouth, but your actions, yeah, behind their back, oh, you're telling them no all the time. Or you say yes in front, but behind the scene. I mean, when you're in prayer, you're telling God, yes, Lord, that your will be done, Lord. But then your actions say something totally different. Just say no. Nancy Reagan, First Lady Nancy Reagan, back in the 1980s, she popularized this statement, just say no. She was encouraging young people like me and you and your children, don't participate in using drugs. She was saying, I know it can be an urge because your friends are pushing you because of peer pressure. She said, but refuse drugs. Yeah, by simply saying no. No matter how much they offer you and tell you it's going to be okay, a little bit won't hurt. She says, just say no. And we should use this statement in our lives. Just say no. Some things don't be lukewarm. Yes, a soft yes, if you will. A soft no. No. Make it a hard no or a hard yes. It depends on what you're involved in. So we're told this story in the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 44, of Jesus being in the Garden of Gethsemane on his way to Calvary. We're told that his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. Let me say it again. We're told that Jesus' sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. He's pressed. He's in a situation to where he's praying to the Father because everything in him, everything around him is telling him, like everything around you and I tell us to think about this, to give thought to this. Am I going to say yes or am I going to say no? How many of you wish you had a crystal ball, if you will, that you could see into the future or you could look back into the past and you could change some things? I mean, we all wish we had that crystal ball. We'd love to have what I call some do-over because there's some things in your past that you like to erase from your timeline. I mean, there's some stuff back there that you like to just delete forever, but you can't. You see, some of that stuff has helped to grow us. Now, some of that stuff, we just wasted time. We gave time to stuff we should have said no to, but we gave time to it. I mean, and it put us in a bad situation. Some of it's messed with your psyche. I mean, come on. But if you said no, if you just walked away. But we're not taught this. I mean, think about this. When are you teaching your children really to say no? That that if you say no, you don't have to go through all these turmoils, if you will, these issues in life. We try to use different things to kind of get their attention, but really and truly, just being open with them and say, "Hey, baby, just say no to it, and just leave it alone." But we look at ourselves, and it's kind of hard uh, because we never thought about seeing the end of a thing before the beginning of a thing. I mean, it sounds so simple, but the power of knowing, I mean, the power of experience, when you think about it, the power of understanding, it improves our decision making. And that's what our family is trying to share with us. When you look at, nobody has a crystal ball. I mean, let's be for real. That's just simply a fantasy. And no one has a crystal ball. But when you look at your children, and children, listen to me. When your mother is telling you, when your father is telling you, they're trying to give you, if you will, a glimpse, if you will, a peek into your future. When they start telling you stuff like, especially your grandparents and I mean, coaches, teachers, siblings, I mean, everyone's pouring into you, family members, friends. When they start telling you all these stories, if you will, of what's happened to them, That's your crystal ball moment. But you just got to see it though. You can't rush through it. That's your crystal ball moment of them showing you how they don't want you to be a casualty. They don't want you to be a victim. But you know, we brush stuff off. It's like, well, that happened to you. That's your life story. You're telling me stuff that you couldn't handle. I'm telling you, they're trying to equip you with better decision making skills, if you will, with tools. They're trying to give you advice versus experience. They're trying to spare you from all the trials and tribulations that you're going to go through. They want you to be successful. They know you have to fail in some areas, but they don't want you to bump your head to where you can't get back up. You see, that's what we get ourselves into. We start bumping our head to where, watch this, we can't get back up because we bumped it so hard. Now you got a record, got a felony. Now you're pregnant with 3 kids. I mean, come on. Now you're with a deadbeat guy. I mean, you miss college. You don't have a good education. I mean, you just start doing stuff and layering it and layers, putting layers and layers and layers on top of bad decisions. And if you just said no, all they were trying to teach you were the do's and don'ts that would lead you to the power of saying no. Because see, some of you think no is an equal opportunist. Let me tell you, it's not. I mean, no is not the same no for me that it is for you. It's just not. No, it's not that we all have the same situation. And if I say no to it, it won't impact me the way it impact you. Well, it might not. I might can go a little bit. I might can ride a little bit with this whole thing that I'm thinking about doing, but you probably can't. You see, it impacts us differently. You know, people exaggerate about fishing, and they talk about how they caught this big old fish. Now, the fish is this small, but they exaggerate how big this fish is. See, here's that crystal ball moment again. Your family, your parents, when they tell you these stories about their life, they can exaggerate some things a little bit. They can blow it out of proportion a little bit because what they're trying to do, they're trying to get your attention. They're trying to use what I call scare tactics, if you will, because they know life is worth lifing. They know that if you can just get past this immature stage, if you will, you might be okay. So they're trying to wake you up. They're trying to give you a reality check. And so they try to scare you, if you will, with some of the things they're telling you, some of the things they're trying to pour into you. And with your dumb old self, you look at them and you shake your head and you say, you know what, I'm not you. No, I can handle this. I got this. Me and my culture, me and my friend, oh, we know how to handle this. Y'all just got caught up. Wow. How dumb can you be? I mean, what goes around comes around. There's nothing new under the sun. So instead of listening to them and mixing a little bit of their experience with your advice or their advice with your experience, I mean, mixing it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Taking some of it with you, you trash it out, you ditch it all, and you go out and you bump your head big time. And that's why you see so much mental health happening right now, so much issues with homelessness, so many people on alcohol and drugs. I mean, the world's not telling you about what happened with COVID, but people are drug addicts now. People are alcoholics. I mean, people have addictions. I mean, in every area. Have you noticed greed is at an all-time high? I mean, in everything. Or the prices are high because of greed. Everything is high because of greed. Find yourself in prostitution. I mean, you just find yourself in depression because you wouldn't listen. Because you said yes to everything. That's this generation now. Everything is on and popping. We're complicit with everything. Wow. I told you all no's are not equal. All no's are not equal. You got a 2-year-old child. Think about this. A 2-year-old child wants a cell phone. You tell that child no. But you got a 17-year-old child. That child wants a cell phone. You tell that child no, but you got a qualifier. You tell them, bring me home all A's and B's and I'll get you a cell phone. Now, you're not getting a 2-year-old one no matter what they do. But you got a qualifier for this one, for this 17-year-old. Because you know they're more mature to handle a cell phone. Now, some of you, let's be fair, you giving the 2-year-old cell phone, shame on you. There's soft nose and there's hard nose. You trying to run a marathon tomorrow and you hadn't trained. That's a hard no. I'm quite sure that's a hard no. Your mistakes, I told you, don't just affect you. They infect everyone around you. If you could see the end of a thing before the beginning of a thing, you change a whole lot of stuff. We went to Tokyo, Japan, me and my wife on vacation, and While we were in Tokyo, we took a bullet train down to Hiroshima. And I wasn't paying attention. I just wanted to go see the site that we bombed, where we killed over 166,000 people in Hiroshima alone. And of course, we bombed uh, Nagasaki as well. There was about 80 million, I mean, 80,000 people killed there as well, like about 70,000 people injured at one place and 75,000 injured. So you got a whole lot of, if you will, carnage happening in those two areas. And then a year later, we went to Hawaii on vacation and we visited Pearl Harbor, where the attack began, where 2,000 people, 2,000, I think maybe 400 people were killed, and about another 1,700 were injured. Now, think about this: 2,000 were killed. We went over, we sent, and we dropped a nuclear bomb, and we killed 166,000 in one place, and we killed 80,000 in another place, and we left 70,000 injured in one place and 75,000 injured in another place. If you were the commanders, if the emperor at that time of Japan, I mean, if they could have looked into a crystal ball, if they could have got a glimpse of information, if you will, from understanding how America would react if you attacked us, I mean, the payback was going to be way too costly. I mean, if they had just said no to themselves, no, this is not the thing to do. Let's not go over and attack America because we ain't gonna be able to, handle what they might do to us. See, this is where your mind is a terrible thing to waste. I mean, for Japan to think they could come over and hit us and run away, like like we playing tag. Wow, they played with the wrong country and they got bit. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now, just think about this. Multiply. Now, don't add, don't subtract, but multiply the amount of time that you've wasted on stupid thoughts, on stupid thinking. We think all day long, but think of the stuff you let yourself get into to where you can't get yourself out of it. You're just thinking, you're on a thought, you can't get rid of it. I mean, it'll worry you, man, it'll make you sick. And you're thinking about it for days, for months, if you're not careful, for years. I mean, what type of depression are you giving yourself to? I mean, if the thought is something that you can't change, say no to it. You gotta let it go. That's what Satan is doing right now. Satan is in the mind of people, and he's into their thoughts, into their thinking. He's rearranging some stuff because you won't let it go. You just won't say no. Because you said yes to something that burns you, and now you won't say no to him, it's trying to burn you even more. I don't need him, leasing space inside of my head. Why are you letting him lease space inside of your head? Just say no to him. Just say no. We don't have any vacancies for you. That's what you should tell him. King Saul allowed Satan to live inside of his head, to get inside of his thoughts, to lease out space, in his brain. When he became jealous and envious of David, the king in waiting, all David was doing was following his command. But when the people started singing, King Saul killed 1,000, David killed 10,000, King Saul got paranoid. He got jealous because he thought his leadership was being threatened. You see, Satan got inside of his head. Satan uses a bag of tricks of deception. King Saul, you're the king. This is all yours. Don't let yourself go mad. Don't let that wickedness come out of you. You know, we always say there's two of us inside of here. One that's trying to do good and one that's always trying to pull the good onto the evil side. Jonah told God no. See, I told you, we tell God no. I'm not going to Nineveh to preach. I won't do it. Peter told God no. Told him no 3 times. Denied him 3 times. Cain told God no. He says, no, I won't work hard and bring a better offering. I'm just going to kill my competition, my own brother. I'm telling you, boy, we're a mess. There are 2 gardens in the Bible that I want to focus on. The Garden of Eden and the Garden of Gethsemane. If Adam would have said no to Eve's yes, it would have brought balance in that garden. But Adam said yes to his wife over the voice of God, and sin entered in to mankind. Adam would love to have a do-over. He would have loved to have had a crystal ball to see the end before the beginning, to see what he was starting and what he couldn't stop. Every time you sin, you're telling God no. Every time you sin, you're telling the serpent yes. So stop looking at Eve. No, I've heard several women make the statement, and several men, but I've heard several women make the statement that when I get to heaven, oh, I'm going to slap Eve. I mean, Eve did us wrong. I mean, I'm going to slap Eve because she let herself be deceived. Listen to me. Eve was deceived once. That's all we know, that she was deceived once in that garden. And don't get me wrong, it was bad. But you're allowing yourself to be deceived almost every single day. So, so you won't say no to some stuff. You just keep saying yes. I mean, that guy been shacking with you for years. He's still in marriage. You still saying yes. He can still shack here. No, when are you gonna say no? I mean, you're saying yes to stuff you know you shouldn't be saying yes to. I won't get into your business, but you know what I'm saying. Search your thoughts. Search your heart. What are you saying yes to that you should be saying no to? When you get to heaven, you want to slap Eve, and she would deceive one. Get your slap. But let me ask you this question: you're here on this earth, and you're being deceived every day, or you slapping yourself every day? I mean, are you slapping you because you haven't said no to a lot of things? I mean, I hope you're slapping you now and getting started and getting used to being slapped, because if you're going to slap her, I'm quite sure she has a right to slap you back. But she's going to have a whole bunch of slaps, like patty cake with you, because you've been deceived so much. When do you start saying no? Stop being so curious. You know, curiosity killed the cat, but it also ushered in sin. Or you're ushering in sin into your camp. I told you in the book of Luke, we see Jesus in the garden and he's sweating because it's a heavy weight upon him. And the Bible says he's not just sweating, his sweat is like drops of blood. That's hard. I mean, just imagine the pressure he's up under, to where blood is sweating and rolling down his head. What if, this is a what if moment, what if Jesus would have said no to Calvary? Think about that for a moment. I mean, what if he would have said no to the cross? Where would we be? You know, he's in that garden and he's praying to the Father. I mean, that's a heavy prayer, because we're told that God came to strengthen him. He sent angels to come and strengthen him, because Jesus is talking. He's having a conversation with the Father, and there's something going on, because he's sitting there and he comes 3 times and talks to the disciples and asks them, "You guys ain't praying with me? This is heavy in this garden." And so he goes back and he keeps praying. What if Jesus would have said no to Calvary and not yes to us? See, he said yes to you and I. I mean, he's telling God in that garden, I'm quite sure, this is just me now. He's telling God, I've been with these people for 30 plus years, and they still stupid. They still acting a fool. They still don't get it. They still denouncing you. They still talking about all of us. These people have an issue. I mean, a sin, a lust, a flesh issue. And here I am about to go to Calvary. I'm about to put myself up on a cross for all of them. I mean, wow. I mean, for Jesus to have to carry that heavy load, that heavy burden, and to say yes. Wow. Because he finally says yes. But before he says it, he makes it very clear, Lord, if it be someone else, and if you can find Donnie, if you can give this to Donnie and get this off of my back, go ahead and give it to Donnie. But he says, if thy will be done, if it's your will, that I'll carry this thing through, that I'll finish my assignment, I'll finish my course, so be it, that thy will be done. Think about it. Jesus is up on that cross. His hands are nailed. His feet are nailed. He's got a crown of thorn on his head. And everything that he's holding on, or that he's holding up, because he's Jesus, everything is saying, no, 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 don't, no. The nails are saying, no, I'm not going to go in his hand. No, this is Jesus. I mean, y'all might be stupid, but we're not. The wood, the cross that he's hanging up on, saying, no, don't put him up here. No, no, don't, no, Jesus. And Jesus is telling all of it, but he's saying yes. He's saying, yeah, he says, rest in me and let me carry out my assignment. But everything, I mean, the earth opens up, earthquakes. I mean, lightning, thunder, everything is happening. And Jesus is telling all of it, no, no, hold off. I got this. Because I'm saying yes to these people who don't have a clue of what's happening and what's coming. Wow, 2 gardens. The Garden of Eden, where Jesus put cherubims in the way with flaming swords so that Adam and Eve can't enter back in and eat from the tree of life and doom us for eternity. he puts he puts a cherubim there with swords and saying, okay, they can't get back in. I'm telling them no, they can't enter back in. Because I'm saying yes to my people down the road. I'm saying yes to them. And then here we are in the Garden of Eden, the second garden. And Jesus, who could say no, says yes, that I'm going to finish my assignment. Are you finishing your assignment? Are you like Jesus? You got something pressing on you right now, something so hard. And you've been given a soft yes, but that's a lukewarm yes. You need to give a hard yes to some things in your life and a hard no to some things in your life. Are you protecting you and yours? Are you telling your children about sin? Or are you just letting them just kind of bounce into it on their own? You're protecting them as far as having a roof over their head, and you're providing food for them, and you're making sure that they're safe in your particular, if you will, realm. But are you telling them about the wolves that's out here, the devils that's out here once they leave the house? Or are you teaching them how not to bump and grind into this whole culture that's out here running loose and fancy free? Or you're teaching them there's more than just that. There's a war coming. Or you're equipping them with the tools they need in their toolbox to fight off the devil, to tell him no. My wife and I was having this conversation the other day that have we really talked to our children, our grandchildren especially, have we told them that during the a season of tribulation, there's going to be, if you're here, that there's going to be uh, a deceiver, the Antichrist. There's going to be an offering, if you will, that you take the mark of the beast to be able to buy bread or to get things to eat or to drink water. You're going to have to take the mark of the beast. And if you take the mark of the beast, you're down forever. I mean, have we told them that you can't take that mark? You've got to stand for something or you'll fall for everything. You've got to stand for God. Just say no. Just say no, and God's got your back. Have we told them God has their back? That if you die for him, you don't die really for him, you die in him. And therefore you live with him. Have we told them that? I mean, have we really shared that with them? Oh, that seemed too scary for them. Well, it's going to be scary when it happens, so you might as well scare them now. We all have a cross to carry. We all have our own devils, if you will, to deal with. Because we've all allowed the devil to include himself into the details of our daily lives. That's what we've done. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Lord, what the Holy Spirit is saying to the church. Not what the devil's saying, but what the Lord is saying. The most important nose that you will ever give is to yourself. Yes. Discipline yourself. Think about the conversation that you enter into in your heart every single day. I'm telling you now, stop the madness. See the ending before the beginning. See what's going to happen. See the depression that's coming. See the mental health that's coming. Go back and listen to the wise tales from your mother and father, from your grandparents, from just strangers telling you, advising you of what they've experienced, and use that as your roadmap. Yeah. Jesus was sweating drops of blood as it was falling to the ground because you were worth it, he felt. And I pray you know that you are worth it. Or are you more like Adam right now in your life? Or are you more like Jesus? Or are you listening to someone else's voice over God right now? Please, if you are, stop. For someone, you know that you've said yes to the wrong things in your life way too long, especially when it comes to your permanent destination. So this is an opportunity for you to say yes to your salvation, understanding your eternal destination. I pray that you echo, that you allow to enter your heart, Romans 10 and 9. Lord, I confess with my mouth that Jesus is Lord, and I believe in my heart that you raised him from the dead. Therefore, you're saved. Just say no to everything Satan is throwing at you and some of the stuff you're throwing at yourself, and say yes to Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. You be blessed.